Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. We are Group 12. We're here going to be presenting a Scrum methodology. This is our team. Myself, my name is Kanayya Shafa Amelia with three numbers on RP003.
And my name is Nashita Aulia. My last digit of student number is 054.
And my name is Fezih Suhaimah Jinan with NRP 055.
Okay, we're going to start with Scrum. So what is Scrum? Scrum is a lightweight framework that is used in every industry to deliver complex, innovative products and services that truly delight customers. And it is simple to understand, but yet difficult to master it. The second one, why is Scrum? Scrum relies on cross-functional teams to deliver products and services in short cycles, enabling one, fast feedback. Second, quicker innovation. Third, continuous improvement. Fourth, rapid adaptation to change. Fifth, more delight customers. And the last one is accelerated pace from the idea to delivery. Second one, understanding the Scrum framework. So who's who in Scrum? There are three roles in Scrum. There are developers. Developer is a Scrum team. A developer is anyone on team that is delivering work, including those team members outside of software development. The second one is product owner. They are holding the vision for the product and prioritize the product backlog. And the last one is Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is helping the team to using the best Scrum to build the product. We have also the Scrum's artifact. Scrum artifact, we have three artifacts also. There are product backlog and emergent ordered list of what is needed to improve the product and includes the product goal. The next one is sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is the set of product backlog items selected for the sprint by the developers or team members plus a plan for delivering the increment and realizing the sprint goal. And the last one is increment. Increment is a sum of usable sprint backlog items that completed by the developers in the sprint that meets the definition of done, plus the value of all increments that came before. The next one, we have the Scrum events. Scrum events, we have 5 events in the Scrum events. The first one is the sprint. The sprint is the heartbeat of Scrum. So each sprint should bring the product closer to the product goal and be a month or less in length. And next one, after the sprint, we have the sprint planning. The sprint planning is to plan the entire Scrum team, establish the sprint goal and what can be done and how the chosen work will be completed. Planning should be time boxed to a maximum of 8 hours for a month-long sprint, with a shorter time box for shorter sprints. The next one, after we doing the sprint planning, we have the daily Scrum. The daily Scrum is for the developers or team members delivering the work. Inspect the progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary. The next one is we have the sprint review. So in this review, we have to inspect the sprint's outcome with stakeholders and determines future adaptation. And the last one, we have sprint retrospective. This one, we have to also inspect the how last sprint went regarding individuals, interaction, processes, tool, and definition of done. The team in Scrum identifies improvements to make the next sprint more effective and enjoyable. This is the conclusion of the sprint.
Okay, so next, we're going to getting started with Scrum. The first thing we have to understand is how to transition to Scrum method. The first thing we have to do is we have to assess our team readiness, which we have to assess team's member current level of knowledge, skills, and attitude toward the agile methods, so that we can utilize various tools like surveys, interviews, quizzes, or games to help this happen. This will help us tailor to onboard and train plan to our team's specific needs and gaps of the Scrum method. Second thing we have to do is to learn Scrum basics, which we have to understand the roles who collaborate to deliver products functionality, key artifacts, events, principles of transparency, and the definition of done, which ensure completed works to meet the standards. Next. Okay, so after we transition to Scrum method, we also have to understand the daily routine in Scrum. There are 5 daily routine. The first one is daily Scrum, where the development team gathers and synchronizing activities by asking each member some questions. Second is updating task, which team members updating their progress on the preferable management tool. Third is collaboration, which team members collaborate to help each other task. 4 is adaptation, which is making adjustments based on the feedback received in the daily Scrum. And then 5th is end of day review, which the team members make a brief review on their progress. Next. And here is the phases in Scrum. There are 5 phases in Scrum. The first thing is initiation, which we as a team member, we work together to outline our roadmap of the project. And then second thing we have to do is to plan and estimate, which we create user story to design the product need to be delivered. Third is implementation, which is executing task and activity to accomplish our goals based on the user story we already created. Fourth is review and retrospective, which to evaluate what is successful and what is to be improved from the project. And then the last thing we have to do is to releasing the final project that is already deliverables to the stakeholders, and then finish the phases in Scrum. Next.
Okay, next is there are common challenges. As for the first one is disruption in teamwork, which throws off the team's smooth flow of collaboration, followed by lack of Scrum training, which team members tend to have a lack formal training. Next is there is code quality, which teams have a short-term deadlines due to the agility of teams. To cope up with the lagging deadline, the developer needs to put extra hours. This will create code quality related issues. Last is inadequate sprint duration. It is a double-edged sword. While it enforces a predictable workflow, finding the right length can be tricky. And how to overcome, as for the challenge number 1, disruption in teamwork. Disruption in teamwork doesn't allow a team to be self-organized and self-empowered, which is strong benefit of Scrum. Managers and Scrum Masters should avoid interfering in teamwork and let the team do their job themselves. For the number 2, lack of Scrum training. Formal Scrum training helps in acquainting the teams about the working of Scrum and in increasing awareness about team rights. Which through proper training, teams will be able to better understand the working of Scrum. Next is code quality. Rescope big tasks into small ones. Complete part of the tasks now, show progress. This improves code quality and meet deadlines. As for the last one, inadequate sprint duration, it is very important to set sprint duration to the rate at which requirements change and the rate at which the team can deliver functionality.
Okay, next is about scaling Scrum for bigger projects. The first one is large-scale Scrum, or LESS, is all processes and concepts are extended to large-scale development projects via LESS, or large-scale Scrum. This will definitely affect the organizational structure to be simpler, decreasing dependencies, and promoting teamwork. Second is Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe, which offers an organized method for implementing agile concepts by coordinate work across many teams while ensuring corporate goals, provides new roles and artifacts. Third one is Scrum of Scrums, or SOS. This involves creating daily Scrum levels and having meetings with members from each team to integrate problems, dependencies, and updates on progress. Fourth is Disciplined Agile Delivery, or DAD, which is designed to handle enterprise-level challenges by expanding its Scrum concepts. Also to provide advice on how to modify agile methods to meet companies' needs.
Next is advantages of Scrum. The first one is lower cost. The Scrum approach can be cheaper for an organization as it usually requires less documentation and control. Next is adaptable and flexibility. Scrum doesn't initially have clearly identifiable requirements and require a flexible approach. And then they're transparent. All changes to any part of a project are visible to every member, no matter how small, which can build trust between all the parties. Next is time to market. Scrum often results in faster delivery than other approaches, speeding time to market for new products or features. Then there are disadvantages of Scrum. The first one is works with small teams. The Scrum methodology usually works best with teams of at least 3 people, but no more than 10. Requires a lot of training. A team member needs a lot of training. If you're starting from scratch, expect this to take months before your team is fully up to speed. Then hard to integrate with classic project. This method is often poorly suited to a project that need predictability and a well-defined plan. Last is requires transformation at organization, which requires the organizational barriers to be removed, which is difficult or impossible to occur. Tips. As for tips, number one is keep the sprints focused. Don't try to achieve more than your team can realistically handle. And then there is display the progress. One of the best way of doing this is using Scrum boards that everyone can read at a glance and need to stay aware of overall progress. Last is use the right project management software tools. Today's project management software is so sophisticated and flexible that you really are at a disadvantage if you choose not to use it. So for the conclusion, based on previous explanation, we can take a conclusion that Scrum is a powerful agile framework that thrives on collaboration and short cycles to deliver complex projects. In addition, evidence also shows that Scrum has gained popularity and will continue in the many years to come.
So this is the citation that we use in this presentation. And I think that's all for today. Thank you for listening to our presentation and have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Satu.